Okay, good morning, and I'm going to try this again. Um, it is March the 15th. Oh, that means you got 1 month to get your taxes done. Hopefully mine will be done. They're at the accountant's place. Um, so, yeah, taxes. Always feel, you ever feel like you are kind of getting robbed? Whenever you have to pay your taxes for money coming in, for money coming out, for when you buy a house, when you sell a house, when you buy a car, whenever that car is resold, the government is taking their little check out of that, our big. But I'm not here to talk about taxes today, but I'm talking about something that has made the t-shirt that I've had here for some time quite popular. And the t-shirt has the big Bitcoin logo on it. So Bitcoin's been making the news real big lately. If you've catch some of it, it's last week reached an all-time high up in the about $73,000 for one Bitcoin. And people are saying, well, where can I buy one of these Bitcoins? How does that work? Well, I'm going to give you just a little bit of explanation and a little bit of my strategy and a little bit of my history with Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. The thing that Bitcoin is, it is not a physical coin like silver or gold coins, but it's actually an online coin that when you process a transaction to ship one to another, whoever owns the computer to do the processing gets a tiny little bit of Bitcoin. And the more that they do, because they own the computers, they pay the electric, the more they can begin to make a little bit of Bitcoin. I have never done that, okay? I have never done that Bitcoin, to get Bitcoin that way. That it requires quite an investment. And every 4 years, there's a thing that is called halving. And a lot of people are a little bit confused about what Bitcoin halving is. They say, oh, you mean my Bitcoin is worth half? No. What it means is that the work and the cost of processing Bitcoin transaction drops in half every 4 years. So if you were getting 1/10,000th of a Bitcoin to process a transaction, you are now going to get half of that starting in and around April the 20th. Now, Bitcoin goes through cycles. Of course, everything, what's the Bible say? There's a time and a season for everything. Bitcoin goes through cycles. And the cycles are strategically related to the halving. Why? Because once the halving happens, now for processing transactions, owning the computers, paying the electric, you only get half as much Bitcoin as you used to, which is creating more of a demand and less supply. Now, some things have happened recently that have caused Bitcoin to skyrocket. One is, on Wall Street, ETFs, which are trading funds, are now able to have a legal ETF whereby they can have investors put money into a spot price. So let's say it's 70,000, you can get and have them hold custody of 70,000 that is tied to the price, the spot price of Bitcoin. So it's kind of an easy way. Actually, there's another easy way You can own Bitcoin and a few other cryptos with PayPal. And for those that use PayPal, that's an easy way that you can get into it. Is it the best? Well, maybe not the best, but nevertheless. I want to go a little bit into what some people are saying, and that's what I believe about Bitcoin and some other cryptos. Number one, Bitcoin's the main crypto, and it's kind of like digital gold. The gold has limited supply. Bitcoin has limited supply. Gold has value and Bitcoin has value. You can invest in gold, you can invest in Bitcoin. And the interesting thing, the advantage of Bitcoin is that I can send Bitcoin from my phone or my computer anywhere in the world, and in a minute can trade that value to somebody else. Let's say I want to purchase something in Pakistan. Boom, that can be done. Europe, boom, can be done. Across the US, boom, that can be done. Don't have to send gold. Now, there are a lot of economic things that are happening, and maybe you've heard of BRICS, which is seeking to compete with the US dollar for oil products. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and a whole host of other countries that's saying, you know what, we do not have to peg and buy everything in US dollars. We can use our own currency, thus making the need for US dollars less. Now, when that really begins to take hold, what is that going to do to the US dollar? Well, it's going to have a significant economic problem for the US dollar. Why? Because right now the Fed is just printing these greenbacks. And what happens when you increase the supply? Well, you lower the value. You want to know why? Rent's going up 15%, food's going up 18%. Why has that happened? Because they are just, the US government is spending money like crazy and to spend money like crazy that they don't have, they borrow money, and to borrow money, they print money. Now, when BRICS says, you know what, we don't need your dollars anymore, you know, most US dollars are going overseas, you know, in loans or in trading and that type of thing. When they don't need that anymore, that's going to cause a real economic earthquake. So, if you want to prepare for that, you may want to take a look at Bitcoin, which also is a hedge against BRICS, a hedge against inflation. In 2020, I bought about 5 Bitcoin. It was, when I first bought, it was under 10,000. And those first 5 Bitcoin, the most I paid was 11,000. That's when I first got into crypto. That right now, 5 Bitcoin times $70,000 or around about. It fluctuates. Today it's on sale. On sale, it dropped 8%, and so today I bought just a little bit more. So what has happened? So 5 times 70, okay, that's $350,000, which means the value of that increase a huge amount, more than inflation. So I'm not saying to put all your money into Bitcoin. I'm not telling anybody what you should do. I'm just saying is that there are some economic factors that I think make sense to take a look at doing some kind of spreading your risk with Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin risky? Well, is the US dollar risky? If you just put money into a savings account, what kind of rate you're going to get? Is it going to beat inflation? No. You can guarantee that if you put money into your local bank, that you are going to lose money for every dollar, every $100, every $1,000 you put in at their 1%, whatever rate they're going to give you, and inflation is hitting 8%, 15%. You know, it doesn't make sense. So you want to begin to look around and say, well, what's happening? Well, right now there's, you know, do I want to put it into houses? Well, there's kind of a decline in the housing market right now. Is that, well, maybe a long term, maybe that's okay. But here is my thoughts. My thoughts is this. Bitcoin halving, historically, after the halving, 3 to 10 months of that Bitcoin 4-year cycle, in 3 to 10 months, it reaches its peak. So my strategy is, after April, May, June, July, in July, I'm going to sell 5% of my crypto and move it to someplace else. August, I'm going to sell 5%. September, so for 10 months, I'm going to sell 5% from month 3, okay, all the way around. So that's April. I'm going to start July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. I'm going to divest out of some of my coins into some other asset class. So that would basically take 50%. If it skyrockets, I'm going to have all my money out. Not only will I have all my money out, I will also still have a nice hedge against some of those issues. So I just want to encourage you, take a look. There's easy ways to begin to get into crypto. Whether you can do it on like if you have a Schwab account, you can do it if you have a PayPal account. Let's say you got an extra $500 just sitting in the drawer. You can walk down to your local convenience store with your PayPal phone app, and you can say, here's $500 cash. I would like to put into my PayPal account. Within 15 minutes, it'll be in your PayPal account, and you can go and very easily buy, you know, a couple cryptos. I have some Bitcoin, I have some Ethereum in that, just because it's a very convenient way. Is that the best way to store it? Well, that's another story. So April 20th is Bitcoin halving. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That means if you own 0.21 Bitcoin, you are one of 100 million people. You own 1/100 millionth of the entire Bitcoin sphere. Actually, even better than that, because when people were first learning this code, were first learning how to run with Bitcoin, they did not realize that their own personal account of Bitcoin, they had to save a 20-word passcode. And many of them forgot that. I've heard stories of people trying to find the computer that they had saved that on in a garbage heap, you know, and spending actually millions of dollars. Why? Because they had gotten in early when Bitcoin was 10 bucks. It went to 50,000 bucks, and now they had like 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars on a hard drive somewhere in the middle of a garbage dump because they had totally forgotten about it until it began to increase. So that's one thing, like if you have it in PayPal and you're just getting into it, or if you have it in even an ETF on a trading account like Schwab, you don't have to remember those 20. The problem is if PayPal goes bankrupt, which I don't think will happen, what happens to your crypto? You also are in trouble. Now, I've learned some of that the hard way. I was had some coin parked on Celsius, which was a place where you could get interest on your coins. And they went bankrupt. Thankfully, I did get a payout. They restructured and I did get my investment back. The interesting thing is I got that back a month ago, and the only way I could get it back was they put it into PayPal. I'd never used PayPal before for crypto, and that has increased 50% a month ago. So I feel like, boy, I'm glad I got that back a month ago rather than now, or I would have been out some. Now, not everything has worked out that well, and I've had some things. I've been scammed. I've had some hardships. I've had some difficulties, and I've had a 4-year education. I don't think I got my master's degree in crypto. I maybe got my bachelor's degree, whereby I know some things. I know some things to avoid. I've been following the sphere for quite a while, and I encourage you, today there's an 8% off sale from yesterday. You may want to take a look. If you have some money in PayPal, maybe you want to look and just open up your finance button and you can take a look and see what you got there. So that's how it's looking here from Florida. And also,
move it.
Morning.
Move it.
Also, if you got cash in a drawer, yeah, it's good to have some emergency cash around. But you know what? PayPal is also a very easy way to pay for things, just like cash, or similar to cash. And that might be something you may want to look at, going down to your local convenience store, and you can put up to, I think, $1,500 a day or $5,000 a month cash into PayPal. So God bless you. You have a good day. Just something that I think should pique your attention, because I do not expect Bitcoin to stay under $100,000 this year. So that means if I put $1,000 into crypto today, that's going to be, you know, probably that'd be about 1,600 once that hits 100,000. I don't think it'll stop there. I think everyone should have at least 0.21, 100 millionth of Bitcoin in their back pocket, so to speak, in their phone, and go from there. So, hey, God bless you. And remember, I got this shirt at a thrift store, and so my couple $1 shirt is a reminder to me. Sometimes it does bring some attention to people when I'm playing pickleball. Sometimes they say, hey, what's with that? What's that? You into crypto? I say, yeah. Been into crypto for a while. And spread your risk around. I think the risk of BRICS, the risk of hyperinflation, the risk of all these things, make it very, very imperative that you educate yourself in this realm. So take care. Have a good day. See you later.